The Galactic Military Academy floated like a crown jewel above the gas giant Cadet. 9. Thousands of species trained there. Warriors bred for combat, creatures with claws, venom, psychic abilities, or exoskeletons tougher than steel. And then there were humans.
Weak. Slow.
Fragile. At least, that's what they thought. Alara had heard it all before. Bone density insufficient. Muscle efficiency below average. Primitive nervous system. Even the instructors barely hid their disinterest. But Alara didn't join the academy to impress anyone. She joined because Earth needed allies, and because she refused to let humanity be dismissed as insignificant. Still, she wasn't alone. There was Tyrak, a slender, four-armed alien from the peaceful loom species. His skin shimmered faintly blue under the artificial lights, and his eyes, large, luminous, held a constant curiosity. Tyrak wasn't built for combat either, which is why he and Alara became inseparable. "Your species fascinates me," Tyrak said one evening as they sat overlooking the training arenas. "You lack natural weapons, yet your history is filled with war." Alara smirked. "We make our own weapons." Tyrak tilted his head. "That sounds inefficient." "Yeah," she said quietly, "but it works." They trained together, studied together, failed together,
and laughed.
For the first time since arriving, Alara felt like she belonged. The arena. The arena was where cadets proved their worth, or broke trying. A massive circular battlefield surrounded by hovering stands filled with students and instructors. Each match was broadcast across the academy. Combat was brutal, efficient. Mercy was optional. That day, Alara wasn't scheduled to fight. Tyrak was. She stood at the edge of the arena floor, watching as Tyrak stepped forward, his delicate limbs trembling slightly. Across from him stood Krexer, a towering predator from the Draxian war clans. 8 feet tall, covered in plated armor-like skin. 2 glowing eyes fixed on Tyrak with hunger. "This is a mismatch," Alara muttered. "No interference," barked Instructor Velith from above. Alara clenched her fists. The signal sounded. Middle the breaking point. Krexer moved first.
Fast.
Too fast. He slammed into Tyrak with bone-crushing force, sending him skidding across the arena floor. Gasps rippled through the crowd. Tyrak tried to stand, but Krexer didn't let him. A clawed foot pressed down on his chest. "Pathetic," Krexer growled. Alara stepped forward instinctively. "Cadet Vance," Velith's voice rang out sharply. "Stand down." Alara froze. Rules. Always rules. Krexer lifted Tyrak by one arm, then snapped it. A sickening crack echoed through the arena. Tyrak screamed. Something inside Alara shattered. "Stop the match," she shouted. "No interference," Velith repeated coldly. Krexer laughed. "You should thank me," he said to Tyrak. "I'm teaching you your place." He raised another arm to strike, and Alara moved. The human enters the war.
She didn't think.
Didn't plan. Didn't hesitate. She ran straight into the arena. The crowd erupted in shock. "Cadet Vance has violated protocol," someone shouted. Alara didn't care. Krexer turned just in time to see her coming. "What is this?" he sneered. "A human." Alara didn't answer. She hit him. Hard. Her fist slammed into his jaw, not enough to hurt him, but enough to surprise him. That was all she needed. She grabbed Tyrak and dragged him back, placing herself between him and the predator. "This match is over," she said. Krexer laughed, a deep, rumbling sound. "You think you can stop me?" Alara's eyes burned. "No," she said quietly. "I know I can." The arena changes. Krexer lunged. Alara didn't meet strength with strength.
She dodged. Fast.
Faster than anyone expected. Crexer's claws sliced through empty air. Alara moved like a storm, unpredictable, precise. She wasn't stronger. She was smarter. Every movement calculated. Every strike deliberate. She targeted joints, weak points, balance. Crexer swung again.
Missed.
Again. Missed. What are you? He snarled. Alara smiled, just slightly. Human. She kicked his knee. It buckled. The crowd went silent. Adaptation. Crexer roared and charged again, but now he was angry.
Sloppy.
Alara used it. She ducked under his strike, grabbed a fallen training rod, and drove it into the gap between his armor plates. Crexer howled. For the first time, he felt pain. The arena wasn't just a battlefield anymore. It was changing. Because Alara wasn't fighting like a cadet. She was fighting like a survivor. Like a species that had endured wars, disasters, extinction events, and kept going.
She didn't stop.
She couldn't. Because behind her, Tyrak was barely breathing. Escalation. End this, Instructor Velith ordered. But no one moved. Because something impossible was happening. The weakest species in the academy was winning. Crexer swung wildly. Alara slipped past him again, and this time, she didn't just strike. She climbed. Using his own body as leverage, she scaled his back, wrapped an arm around his throat, and pulled tight. Crexer staggered. Yield, she whispered. He laughed, choking. Never. Alara tightened her grip. Then fall. The turning point, Crexer slammed backward, trying to crush her. Alara released just in time, but the impact sent her flying. She hit the ground hard. The crowd gasped. Crexer turned, breathing heavily, wounded, but still standing. This ends now, he growled. He charged. Alara pushed herself up, blood on her lip, body screaming in pain. She looked back once. At Tyrak. At her friend. Broken. Bleeding.
Still alive.
And something inside her ignited. The Warzone when Crexer reached her. Alara didn't dodge. She stepped forward. Into the attack. She grabbed his arm mid-swing, twisted, and redirected his momentum, slamming him into the arena wall. The impact cracked the reinforced surface. Before he could recover, she struck again. And again. And again. No hesitation. No mercy. The arena had rules. Alara didn't. She turned the entire battlefield into a weapon, using terrain, debris, and momentum. Crexer fell, got up, fell again, each time slower, each time weaker, until finally, he didn't get up. Silence, the arena fell completely silent. Alara stood there, breathing hard, body shaking. Crexer lay unconscious. Defeated. Impossible. Instructor Velith descended slowly to the arena floor. This match, Alara turned sharply.
Is over, she said.
Velith studied her, then nodded. For the first time, I agree. Ending what humans really are. Medics rushed in. Tyrak was carried away. Alara followed, ignoring the stares, the whispers, the disbelief. Hours later, she sat beside him in the recovery ward. Machines hummed softly. Tyrak's eyes fluttered open. Alara, he whispered. She smiled, relief flooding her chest. You're okay. You broke the rules, he said weakly. She shrugged. They started it. Tyrak gave a faint laugh, then winced. Why? He asked. Why risk everything? Alara leaned back, thinking. Then she answered. Because that's what humans do. The aftermath the next day, the academy was different. No one called humans weak. No one laughed. Because they had seen it. Not strength, not speed, but something far more dangerous. Refusal. Humans didn't accept limits, didn't accept defeat, didn't accept that their friends should suffer while they stood by. Instructor Veleth addressed the cadets. Yesterday, he said, we witnessed something rare. He paused. Not power, not skill, but will. His gaze shifted to Alara. Humans are not the strongest species.
A beat.
They are the ones who don't stop. Final scene weeks later. Tyrak stood beside Alara at the edge of the arena once more. He was healed, stronger, more confident. They are afraid of you now, he said. Alara shook her head. They shouldn't be. Why not? She looked out over the arena, the same place where everything changed. Because I didn't fight to scare them. She smiled softly. I fought to protect you. Tyrak considered that, then nodded. I am glad, he said, that humans are not as weak as we thought. Alara smirked.
Yeah.
Big mistake. Final line, power ending for video, and across the galaxy, one truth began to spread. You could beat a human. You could break a human. You could even knock them down. But if you ever hurt someone they loved,